So let us see this problem. A 10 kVA 2000 by 200 volts single phase transformer has following parameters R1, R2, X1, X2. Subscripts 1 to denote high voltage and low voltage windings respectively. What they are asking, find the per unit values of RE1, RE2, XE1, XE2. You see one point, important point here, you can observe at the end of this problem. So first they are asking to convert into per unit. Already you know, on the high voltage side, the rated voltage is 2000. Therefore, the base current is, because 10 kVA is common, either primary side or secondary side, MVA is same, the kVA is same. Therefore, 10,000 by 2000, that is 5 amperes. What is the base impedance? Base impedance equal to voltage by current. Base voltage by base current. Okay. So therefrom, you can calculate the resistance and reactance per unit. What is the resistance reactance per unit? Actual value of the resistance divided by base impedance. That's what we said. So 0.009. What is the reactance per unit? Actual value by base impedance. We got these two. So RE1 in ohms, if you see, R1 plus R2 by K square. You know this formula. By K square means M1 by N2 whole square. You substitute these values, this is 7.6. That means resistance with referred to primary. If you calculate the per unit value of the resistance refers to primary, it is 0.019. Like that, if you calculate the per unit reactance refers to primary, then 1 by base value into x1 plus x2 into 1 by K square. It is 0.056 into 10 power somewhere. So this is resistance refers to primary, reactance refers to primary. Same way, if you calculate on the LV side, base current, again VA, kVA by voltage 200 here. Same way, base impedance 200 by this 50 current. From that, secondary side resistance in per unit if you calculate. So refers to secondary, what is the per unit value? 1 by base to R2 plus R1 into K square. You know this formula. So this is the value of the resistance refers to secondary. Same way reactance. If you observe, resistance refers to primary, resistance refers to secondary, both are same. This is what is the observation. Same way, reactance refers to primary, reactance refers to secondary. Primary is 0.027. Secondary both are same. So this is the result. What is the meaning of this? If the values are converted into per unit, whether the values are refers to primary or secondary, there is no matter. If it is actual value, refers to primary, refers to secondary, matters. So that is the advantage of the per unit system. The actual values you have to ask, refers to primary, high voltage, or refers to secondary. We have to question ourselves. But here, no need to question. Whatever it may be, once it is given per unit, it is same. So this is the main observation. So let us say this voltage regulation of a 3-winding transformer. Still, we are continuing with 3-winding transformer. What is the voltage regulation? The voltage regulation of 3-winding transformer can be determined as, first determine the kVA in each winding for the given load. Determine K for each winding. What is K here? Ratio of magnitude of the actual kVA by base kVA. First you calculate actual kVA base kVA, that is you calculate the K or K1. Okay. Same way you calculate K2, secondary side. Actual kVA loading, secondary kVA loading divided by base kVA. Same tertiary winding, you calculate tertiary kVA loading by base kVA. After calculating these K values, okay. Second point, calculate voltage regulation for each winding at its operating factor. You observe one more point here. You know what is the voltage regulation, what is the formula. Okay, you have seen that formula. So here, what is the formula? No load minus full load by no load is equal to IR cos phi plus or minus IX sin phi. That is the voltage difference divided by voltage we get. So here we can see that one. Let cos phi 1, cos phi 2, cos phi 3 be operating power factors of the 1, 2, 3 respectively. Let epsilon R1, epsilon R2, epsilon R3 are the per unit resistance drops. They are drops, resistance drops. Now you can understand what is per unit for the windings 1, 2, 3 respectively. Now EX1, EX2, EX3 are the per unit leakage reactance drops of the windings 1, 2, 3 respectively. Then for primary winding alone, if you take, what is the per unit voltage regulation? Voltage regulation is equal to difference between no load minus full load. Is nothing but you see ER1 cos phi 1. ER1 means IR1 plus EX1 sin phi 1. Okay. EX1 sin phi 1. EX1 means IX1. ER1 cos phi 1 plus EX1 psi 1 into K1. That means with reference to this one, we have to take actual KVA by base KVA, we have to multiply here. Same way for secondary winding and tertiary winding, we can calculate the voltage regulation. See, the voltage regulation for any pair of windings is obtained by, we have seen individual, primary, secondary, tertiary. If you want pair of the winding, how it will be obtained? Algebraic sum of the can be obtained by algebraic sum of the individual voltage regulations of this pair under consideration. If the power flows from one to other, if the power flows from 1 to 2 or 2 to 1 or 1 to 3, 3 to 1, 2 to 3, 3 to 2, depends upon the power flow, the voltage regulation can be calculated. If 1 to 2 is positive, 2 to 1 is negative. Okay. So for a 3-winding transformer with primary energized from AC source, with both secondary tertiary winding connected to loads, what is the voltage regulation? We can calculate like this. E12 is equal to sum of the voltage regulations of the primary and secondary. E13 is equal to E1 plus E3. Here the primary is connected to supply, both secondary and tertiary are connected to loads. This is the voltage regulation. So how you got E12? Algebraic sum of these two regulations, like that E13. Since power does not flow from 2 to winding 3 because they are connected to loads. Supply is from 1, 2, 3 connected to loads. Power won't flow from 2 to 3 because they are loads. And from winding 2 to 3 no power, 3 to 2 no power. That's why what is the voltage regulation from secondary to tertiary? It is a difference. Difference between the voltages will take. Okay, it is not sum. Like that 3 to 2, E3 epsilon 3 minus epsilon. Here epsilon 2 3 is obtained by subtracting these two, 3 2 obtained by subtracting 2 and 3, like that is a reverse. Therefore, voltage regulation from secondary to primary, if you want reverse, primary to secondary, E1 plus E2, epsilon epsilon 2. Secondary to primary means minus of epsilon 1 plus epsilon 2. Here, negative sign is used because voltage regulation is determined from secondary to primary, where the power supply is from primary to secondary. We are taking in the reverse direction. Similarly, the voltage regulation from tertiary to primary also you can write E31 is equal to minus of E1 plus E3. Now, we are going to discuss about the parallel operation of the three-phase transformers. Actually, we have discussed the parallel operation of the single-phase transformers. Now, in the syllabus, we have parallel operation of single-phase and three-phase transformers. Already you have seen what are the necessary conditions and why parallel operation is required. And we have seen some derivations. All are applicable to three-phase transformers. There are some additional points to be taken. So that's what I'm discussing here. So the conditions for proper parallel operation of single-phase transformers, you know, the polarities of the transformers must be same, identical primary, secondary voltage ratings, impedances inversely proportional to KVA rating. We have done the problems on this. Identical X by R ratio, power factor, the transformer impedances. These points are equally applicable to paralleling of three-phase transformers also. But some additional points, because a three-phase, not single-phase. Here comes the point, the phase sequence. This phase sequence, phase shift, these points won't come in single-phase. These points will come in three phase. So like the same, like this, the same points will come parallel operation of the generators also. We'll understand in the machine subject. The phase sequence must be same. RYB, here also RYB. They should be connected. There should not be any mismatch. The phase shift between primary and secondary voltages must be same. I will discuss in detail for all the transformers which are to be connected in parallel. Phase shift must be same. It follows that all transformers in the same main group can be connected in parallel. Okay. Under balanced loading conditions, the three-phase transformer calculations are made on per phase basis. You know, balanced means all three phases are balanced. It means magnitude is same. They are displaced by 120 degrees. If you know one phase values, other two phases can be easily calculated. If you know the power in one phase, it is 3 times of the power in other three phases. So that's why instead of taking three phases, we can take only single phase. That's why per phase basis is enough. It is however preferable to perform the calculations on a per unit basis. Already I told you about this. Per unit basis is always advantageous, particularly in case where primary, secondary connections are different. So let us I have mentioned two important points. That is the relative phase displacement between the secondary line voltages of all the transformers should be zero. That means there should not be any phase displacement between secondary line voltages. This means that the transformers to be connected in parallel must belong to the same group. As I said, group means already I have seen this connection star star zero. Star star zero means that means when the hour hand in the clock at zero position, there is a phase displacement zero. Delta delta zero. Here also same. So like that same group means that it should not be different group. That means that angle must not be different. Belong to the same group. That means group one. The phase sequence of the secondary line voltages of all the transformers should be same. Here phase displacement, here phase sequence. RYB, here also RYB should be connected. There may arise several questions in your mind at this point of time. What are those? Though I cannot guess all those, but can definitely guess some of them. What are those? Some of the common questions are explained below. What are these questions? Why relative phase displacement between secondary line voltage should be zero? There should not be any relative phase displacement. Or what would happen if the transformers of different group numbers are connected in parallel? Okay, let us see the answers for these two questions. Let us assume that two transformers of different groups are connected in parallel as shown below. Different groups. Okay, same group means star star zero. Okay, delta delta zero. Different group means it is different from that. So if you connect a different groups like this, so what we can observe like this, you can see the secondary line voltage of the transformers will not be in phase. Normally A2 dash should be same phase, B2 B2 dash, C2 C2 dash, they should be in phase. They won't be in same phase because there is a phase displacement. They are not belongs to same group. We have seen the connections, different types of connections in the three-phase transformer connections, and they are not in phase. They are displaced from each other by some angle. Because of this angle difference, then what happens? There is a voltage across S1, S2, S3 switches. You can see some voltage will be observed in these switches because this phase displacement due to this displacement. The voltage across these switches will be equal to the length of the phasor joining these two. What is the voltage? This is the voltage. A2 A2 dash, B2 B2 dash. Due to this voltage, when these switches are closed, because by mistake these are different groups, so I have switched on. Then what happens? This voltage, when these switches are closed, the large circulating current will start flowing through the secondary winding. Circulating current will flow. This may damage the transformer. So therefore, it is essential that transformer belong to the same group number so that the relative phase displacement between the secondary line voltage is zero. However, the transformers of the group number 3 and 4 can be successfully operated in parallel. Group 3. Why phase sequence should be equal for parallel operation of a three-phase transformer? Second question. Phase sequence. If it is RYV, it should be RYV. Like that. There should not be any phase sequence difference. The phase sequence of secondary line voltage of all transformers should be same. The phase sequence is same. There will not be any voltage again across the switches S1, S2, S3. However, improper phase sequence may result complete damage of the transformer. Let us see here. This is a proper connection. A2 connected to A2 dash, B2 connected to B2 dash, C2 connected to B2 dash. Okay. Here, if you observe, that means A, B, C in the clockwise direction. If you observe A, B, C, R, Y, B, this is the phase sequence. If you observe here, A, C, B, like this, A, C, B, the phase sequence. A, C, B. Reverse phase sequence. Okay. So first one is normal A, B, C. But second one, if you take A, C, B. If you take this one A, B, C, same phase sequence. R, Y, B, R, Y, B, like that. But here it is R, Y, B. Reverse is R, B, Y. They are connected like this. So in the first case, the phase sequence of the secondary line voltage of the both the transformers are correct. Therefore, zero voltage will be developed across the switches S1, S2, S3. There is no problem. But in the second case, if you take these two are okay, A2, A2 dash. But if you take these two, then there is a phase sequence. So phase sequence is reversed. So under this case, there will be a voltage, line voltage between C2, B2, C2, B2 dash and B2, C2 dash will be developed across switches S2, S3. S1 no problem, but S2, S3 voltage is developed. These switches may not be designed to withstand that high voltage. Therefore, the parallel operation is not possible. So that's why. So these two are very important parameters in three-phase transformer parallel operation. So let us see a problem on this three-phase parallel operation. A three-phase transformer of some resistance and reactance given in per unit is connected in parallel with a 250 kVA transformer. Okay, 500 kVA connected to 250 kVA transformer with again a per unit resistance and reactance. That's why I told the per unit values. The secondary voltage of each transformer is 400 volts on no load. They have given secondary voltage of two transformers. Find how they share a load of 750 kVA at a power factor of 0.8 lagging. So they are asking us to calculate how the 750 kVA shared among the transformers. They are 500 250 kVA transformers, but they won't share like that. 500 250 depends upon the load, depends upon their impedance values. They will share the load. We have seen such type of problem in the single phase transformers also. So what is the first step? Here per unit values are given. They should be converted into same base. Here see, this is a 500 kVA, this is 250 kVA. So that's what I'm telling. You have to take these values onto common base, because that first transformer values they have given, the resistance and reactance values, they are on 500 kVA base. Second transformer, they are on 250 kVA base. So we should convert these values onto same kVA base. So that's why we can take ZA 0.01 plus J 0.15 resistance reactance. It is in polar coordinates. You can convert ZB. If you want to convert ZB values onto 500 kVA, because 500 to 50, 500 is the highest value. Generally, highest kVA rating, highest kVA value will be taken as a base. So new value by old value into this second transformer impedance. So that is the way you have to convert. You got this. Then ZA plus ZB you got. If you sum up total load kVA, you can write like this: SL is equal to S at an angle of minus 5 degrees, because minus 5 is lagging. 750 at an angle of minus cos inverse 0.8 degrees. This is SL. You know these two formulas. You have seen this one in the single phase transformers. SA is equal to SL load kVA into ZB by ZA plus ZB. So substitute these values, because for product or division I told polar coordinates are more convenient. Because If you divide, angles will be subtracted. If you product, angle will be added. So simply you will get SJ. So it is just like minus 40.4 degrees. The power factor is 0.7615 lagging. So this is the one, 470.95 kVA. Okay. Like that, SB also you can calculate ZA into SL by ZA plus ZB. You got 281 at this power factor. Now we observe this 750 is not divided just like 500 250. Okay, first transformer is given 470.95. Second transformer is given 281.25. So this is the way the load will be divided between three-phase transformers. Let us see this: a load of 500 kVA at 0.8 power factor lagging is to be shared by two three-phase transformers A and B of equal ratings. They have given equal ratings. So if the load, if the equivalent delta impedances referred to secondary, they have given here the values. Impedance, actually this is the ohms, not W, ohms for A, and B they have given. Calculate the load supplied by each transformer. So it is different from previous one. In the previous case, you take they are different rating transformers, but here same rating transformers. So just like again you calculate SJ is equal to S into ZB by ZA plus ZB, and you substitute the values ZA ZB. Then you can calculate SJ SB values. So as I said, if you can multiply the rectangular coordinates also, because using calculator you can do this quickly. So then 230.7 and 270. So this is the way